Hi, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Chatting in My Closet. Today's topic is, when is it enough? When do we know our collection is complete? For those of you tuning in for the first time, hi, I'm Katie. I like to do these luxury fashion videos here on YouTube. I share hauls and reviews, but at the end of the day, I share my journey so we can all mindfully curate our own collections. If you like what you're seeing, please subscribe to my channel, like this video, and leave a comment down below with your thoughts on this topic. All of your support really means a lot to me. As a quick refresher, in case there's someone new who's checking out this series, Chatting in My Closet is an ongoing series on my channel. I pick a fashion-related topic and I share my open and candid thoughts on that topic. I then open up the floor to you guys to continue the conversation in the comment section down below. So definitely let me know your thoughts. Let me know what kind of ways you measure your collection, or there are other ways that you feel like you know you have enough. The beauty of Chatting in My Closet is really the ongoing conversation that I get to have with all of you. Can I just comment, the weather is getting so nice. I mean, as someone who actually prefers colder weather to warmer weather, I know it sounds very hypocritical of me to be like, oh my gosh, it's getting warmer, spring is here. But there is definitely something about more sunlight that just puts you in a better mood. It's definitely a gorgeous, gorgeous day, and I'm so happy to just sit here by the window and film my Chatting in My Closet episode. So when is it enough? I mean, this is just my approach and my, I guess, philosophy. I don't really think there's a quantifiable measure to know when something's enough. I don't think there's an ideal net worth number that makes sense for everybody. For me, it's much more of a feeling. It's harder to describe. It's not quite as tangible. I do think if you had a top financial limit, you don't want to spend more than $15,000 on your overall collection over time. And when you kind of hit that $15,000 limit, you're either going to be, rehoming items to fund new items, you know what I mean? That's probably a much more financially responsible approach to building out your collection. I am definitely not that financially savvy or that much of a planner for me to have that kind of limit in place. For me, it's much more of a feeling where I am happy or satisfied with a portion of my closet. Now, also for me, I don't ever see myself considering my closet to be complete. I see it as an ongoing evolution. I feel like there will always be a component of my wardrobe that I am interested in improving or adding more pieces or reinventing in some way. I don't think I'd hit a point where I'm just okay, I'm happy with all my ready-to-wear, I'm happy with all my shoes, all my clothes, I'm not going to buy anything else. I don't see myself as that person, only because I'm someone who's really, really interested in fashion items, fashion pieces, not so much the trends, but I'm so infatuated with fashion in general, the new accessories or different cuts of clothing. I get really happy and excited about a lot of different components of fashion that I don't see myself ever stopping that. But I do get a feeling when I've sort of used up all of my excitement for a particular category. And I know that happens because I'm no longer interested in checking out what the latest collections are or what the upcoming collections are. I'm no longer interested in a particular style or any of the signature looks that are coming out. I find myself getting disinterested and a little unengaged with a brand, or I feel when that happens, and it ebbs and flows throughout the years, of course, and it changes my focus area within my collection. So for example, for me, Shoes was one of those categories that ended pretty quickly. I initially was pretty interested in shoes. I think it's because, at least when I was starting out my collection, shoes were at a more attainable price point than handbags. Like I could save up to get a handbag, but I couldn't get a handbag like every month or every couple of months either. Shoes, I might be able to like get one pair a couple of months, or I'd be able to find like a pair of designer shoes on sale, so I'd be really excited and get one of those. But then they were uncomfortable and I didn't get as much joy out of my shoes as I did with my handbags. So when I realized I wasn't as excited, like I wasn't looking forward to trying to find new shoes unless I felt like something was missing, that's when I knew like shoes was not going to be a category that I really focused on. And I shifted over to handbags. I decided I'd rather save up my money and put them towards new handbags because I just loved handbags much more. Honestly, sort of getting to that point with handbags overall as well. I've built that collection out for probably like 10 years. I feel like everything has its place, everything has its use, and is really helpful when I'm putting my outfits together. Like I don't feel like I gravitate towards a particular set of handbags. I feel like I am able to get pretty even use out of all of my pieces. Of course, I still have a wish list of a few more handbags that I want to add, but I can tell that I'm sort of getting towards the end, if that makes sense. Like I'm getting towards not the end forever, but just at that point where I know I'm okay to take a little break. But if I think about other categories, for me those are like homeware. Homeware is definitely a place that I still see and feel some excitement around. That includes some furniture bits. Now, of course, like I'm not getting like an entire living room furniture set or anything, but I have areas where I know like I could probably get like a nice coffee table soon. I could probably get something here and there, like, you know, even if they're like lamps or light fixtures, like that's still an area that I know I have some excitement for, and I know I have some room to improve. Ready to wear is another category for me where I have a lot of great pieces already, but I'm still looking forward to really building out what I would consider to be a more core collection. And fine jewelry is another area where I'm slowly getting into it. I don't think it's an area that I think will explode. I know I'm comfortable wearing those pieces, but I'm not necessarily looking to all of a sudden, you know, like fill out an entire drawer of fine jewelry, because it's just an area that I know I can start adding a few more pieces to amp up the collection. So for me, it's a lot more dictated around that feeling. For me, it's overall a never-ending journey, but what ends up happening is like my focus ends up shifting. I mean, Chanel increased their prices yet again in March, and although the US prices stayed the same, I heard like a lot of prices globally went up, and it's just another one of those, I don't know, it's just another one of those where I am not particularly interested in spending that much money on pieces that I was hoping to be able to add, you know. I'm also reading on the Purse Bop forum about like how things might be changing at Hermes as well, and it might be even harder to get Hermes pieces. Even those that were considered like non-quota items are turning into kind of quota items. Like everything is turning hush hush. Everything is turning like, oh, it's super exclusive. Like you have to be in the know. And sometimes that just gets old. It's just so much to have to manage. I feel like it sucks a lot of joy out of the process, because it's not just about obtaining the item. A lot of times it's the experience and the journey you go through to get it. And when it becomes that difficult, when you're saying in this capitalistic world, when you're saying you're going to throw money at something because you want it, and it's still like you have to jump through hoops and do all of this stuff, like that's when I like turn around and I'm like, okay, like this is like a little too much, okay? Just a little too much for me. For me, that's also something that affects my overall like attitude and mood for building out my collection. Honestly though, I did, with like the Chanel price increases, with all the rumors happening at Hermes, with everything that happened in the last couple of years, like I took a look at my collection and I told myself, like, I am really at peace with what I have. I feel very fortunate to have built it over time to where it is today. I love all the pieces that I have, that I've told myself, like, look, if I really cannot get another handbag, I think I'd be okay. Like, I really wouldn't be at a place where I would be, you know, significantly lacking or feel at a loss or anything. Like, of course I would like to add another Hermes bag, but even if that doesn't happen, I was like, you know, I'm so happy with the ones that I have that I'm not even going to be upset about it. So going back to the original question of like, when is it enough? I think it's when you're struggling to figure out like what might be missing, then you're probably in a good place. Like, you're probably not missing much. That's why. Because that's usually how I shop. It's usually I will see a void, whether that's a color or a style, or a type of a silhouette, or a specific use case. Like, I'll usually find something that's missing and then be able to use that to start looking at things that could satisfy that could fulfill that void. And when I get to a point where I'm like, I can't really think of anything, when I get to a point where, let's say I'm looking at like an upcoming season lookbook and there's nothing that's really standing out to me as like, oh, like I was looking for something like this and here it is. Or when I see myself like scrolling through and trying to justify getting a particular piece, then I know I'm pretty good. Then I know I'm pretty good. Like, I don't have to force it. I don't have to, you know, overly justify it or anything like that. So that's where I tell myself, you know, you have enough. You are not really feeling, you know, the burning desire or the burning need. So, you know, it's okay. You can let it rest. There will always be another collection that you can pick up something else. But what about you guys? How do you guys manage your collections? How do you guys like figure out what areas you want to focus on or grow? Like, is it financially focused? Is it just strictly like the number of pieces you have? Like, how do you guys know when you feel like you need something, you know? Like, let me know in the comment section down below. As always, I will post a poll on my community page asking you to vote on what topic I should discuss next. I always plan on doing all of the topics that I list there, but this one just helps me prioritize based on your input. So definitely keep an eye out for that poll. It usually comes out the Friday after a Chatting in My Closet episode. And so yeah, let me know your thoughts there. If you have any other topic ideas that you think I should discuss, please leave those in the comment section down below as well. I love to see your ideas. A lot of times I get ideas from your guys' questions as well. So yeah, feel free to leave those in the comment section down below because I will take those in for sure and add them to the list. If you have any other questions, feel free to leave them down below or head on over to Instagram and I'd be happy to help however I can. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate all of your feedback and support. If you like this kind of content and you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I post new fashion-related videos every Sunday and Wednesday. So until next time, bye!